All right. Well, I had a couple of good days of accurate predictions. Um, Wu Shang leveling up, and Roland being the Emperor of Habershant. However, it appears that my streak of good luck, good predictions has ended because any of the legends I mentioned who could have been the starved one were in fact not the starved one, and that's totally okay. I don't think there were really any um, lore-related clues in the text of the kinetic novel that would have really specifically pointed to this one, but I don't mind. You know, I've that's all part of the journey, right? So anyway, let's continue on here and read chapter 8, The Starved One. This one's going to be a fun one. I've thought about the kind of voices I'll make for this, so here we go. The blighted wastelands are far beyond the pale of what could be considered a place. It is a seeping, bubbling froth of bleeding decay, an undead mass of earth seeming to breathe on its own. The very muck beneath my feet crawls, festers, and pulsates with a distinct quality, not unlike that of an infested corpse that had been cast to the birds and left to rot for days on end. A distinct, creeping umber fog hangs in the air, draping over my body like a damp veil. The air is humid and thick, and the stench of the rot claws at my stomach. It takes everything in my willpower not to retch. The dreadful crimson swamp is pockmarked with puddles of a tar-like black liquid that sizzle and burn at the fabric of my clothes. Even the trees are a ghastly sight. Their broad, thick limbs seem to twist and grasp into one another, forming a mound of roots shaped like starved bodies heaped atop one another. Every knob and knurl a screaming visage of an agonized soul. The deeper I go, the stranger the environment becomes. At some point, the swamp became asphalt. The haunted fauna became sky-high, decaying buildings of a bygone era, halfway submerged in the muck. The fog gave way to weak shafts of sunlight, peeking out from the foliage of the sprawling, massive trees that embedded themselves within the girders of the rubble. Coiled atop the broken buildings is a massive skeleton of a serpentine beast. Its empty gaze stares at some faraway point in the horizon, as if yearning to be anywhere but here. It is a sight unlike anything I have ever seen. Not a soul stirs from within. Ash whips up from the ground into the wind and billows past me. A ringing throbs in my ear. I have never seen anything like this before. It is surreal. This must have been a huge settlement. What could possibly have happened here? Something about that giant serpent skeleton conveniently draped on the buildings makes me think that may have had something to do with it. But the blighted wastelands lie beyond the Vanguard Mountains. The apocalypse never went beyond it. That's what the elders have always said. Oh, come on, I know you don't just blindly believe all the stories you're told. That's the whole reason for your little journey, no? Look at it. Just look at it. Oh, wait. You probably can't see very well through that mask, can you? Well, this whole place looks a bit apocalyptic. Not remotely livable, but better than it used to be. My, bestie. You've really cleaned up the whole place. I didn't know you'd go trouble yourself that much. Have you learned manners? How quaint. As if responding to the wanderer's quips, the ground begins to shake and tremble. Loose stones stand on end, rattling and clanking against the ground. A great metallic groan echoes through the city, resounding and shuddering as if struck by a mighty crack of lightning. The thunderous booming bounces along every building and every crevice in the blighted city. A thick cloud of red dust plumes from the opposite end of the road I stand on. Then, All at once, it billows over me and the Wanderer. I only have but mere seconds to shield my arms up. My hair stands on end and my fingers start to tremble involuntarily. Flying debris skates along my skin. Not enough to draw blood, but enough to have me grit my teeth against the pain of shrapnel bounce on my skin. I shudder and cough, blinking away the motes of dust that cling to me. Spires of bone erupt in rows from along the side of the road, sending chunks of stone flying. I can hardly see a thing, much less make out the enormous shape that smashes into the ground farther up the road. A dark, looming shape hangs in the air, menacingly bearing down upon us. I look up. The long, serpentine skeleton that had been weaved along the remnants of the steel frames had entirely vanished. Its gaze no longer fixed in sentry, but it instead stares straight at me. Though clearly lifeless, I feel as if my very being has been judged and found wanting. Something was very wrong. I ball my hands into fists and steady my breath. I am shaken, but I want to be ready. Even if I had not the slightest clue what was happening. The Wanderer, on the other hand, appears entirely nonplussed. He stares at the end of the road expectantly, a wry smile painted on his face. He steeples his fingers, and then a hunched figure emerges from the cloud of dust atop a mount. The mount is a spindly, dark, insect-like creature with long red antennae. A small pair of scales serves as its muzzle. It seethes with an unbridled, ravenous rage. The figure dismounts, only stopping to gently pat the steed on its back. The creature sprouts red parchment-like membranes from its back, vanishing into the cloud of dust. The humanoid figure lurches forward, shambling forward on its goat-like legs with a distinct limp. Upon closer study, I can see teeth emerging from its knees. A ram's skull appears to be halfway melted into its face, its jaws becoming more animal than human, with long twisting horns protruding from its temples. The top of its head cracks open into a mouth, slightly quivering. A disgusting tongue flops from the opening, salivating onto its matted fur cloak. The spiny teeth running along the open ridge of its head gnash in expectation. Buried in its gaunt, emaciated torso is another gnashing mouth. More teeth than flesh, it bares its fangs at me, hissing. A piercing eye stares at me from within the torso mouth, twitching as it studies the Wanderer and I. And here's the reveal. With every new detail, I kept wondering, like, which legend could this possibly be?
Life
I had no idea.
Unpredictable.
But anyway, let's once again have to deal with an ad here, I suppose. But here we have Pavelski.
Pass Season 9 is finally here.
By the way, I always love Pavelski's reveal videos. They're always so fun and lighthearted.
And I'm sure many of you are excited, because we already got a lot of stuff revealed before my review. First reveal was from BMG, and we got the first skin plus the map review. Skin number that you're seeing, it's out. Progression podiums, loading frames, and nameplates.
Skipped a little bit, he talks about the previous.
Most of us care about the skins the most, and the
previous reveal too.
As I said, no more yapping, so now let me reveal some stuff to you. And it's gradually gonna get better and better the more I review. So first, we're gonna start with this avatar that you see right now, which is a pretty epic avatar, right? But
yeah, so even looking at that avatar, I could not tell which legend it was.
Avatar that you see right now, which is a pretty epic avatar, right? But it doesn't stop there. We have a sidekick.
Of course, the awesome
avatar, but we also have this beautiful
also this awesome, like, crazy famine steed sidekick,
okay,
which is
maybe
really
it's not
cool.
that beautiful because I feel like it's gonna murder. But let's not talk about it. We quickly revealed those two, but how about we take our time with the final review? So we have the blasters.
I love how he takes his time with this. He shows blasters, and we're like, oh, okay, it's a blasters legend.
And now, okay, get ready. The axe skin.
And he knew that once he said axe, then that's when it would reveal what the legend was.
It's insane, bro. This axe skin is like, and now, okay, get ready. The axe skin. The axe skin.
So starved scavengers and horned carver.
It's insane, bro.
I love
This
it.
axe skin is like top 5 axe skins, I'm telling you. Wait, now you're probably thinking, who has blasters and axe? Hold up. Before you even find out who it is, I'm gonna show it to you. It's Brawlhalla. Look at this amazing.
Gosh. Look at that thing. Oh my, this is so gnarly. Yeah, so yeah, mouths and teeth on his knees. We got the torso mouth with the eye in it. We got the goat jaw thing and the horns. And probably the most clever thing about this whole design is the way the head works, because there's a mouth. Like, it took me like, I thought this tongue was just hair. Like, it looks like hair the way it is draped down his head, but no, it's a mouth with a tongue, and it looks like a shaved haircut that, like, you know, a Mad Max character would have. It's brilliant piece of design.
That BMG made for Brawlhalla. Honestly, I never thought that a Brawlhalla skin could look this good. Okay, let's say the Valentine's Brawlhalla is pretty good too, but this one is better. And this is probably top 5 skins in the game as well. And honestly, all of these Battle Pass skins are insane. Alright guys, now you saw the skin, but how about we see some in-game action of the skin as well? Editor, do your magic. Go.
Damn. Fighting 7. Yeah, that makes sense. 7 and Brawlhalla have it. Yeah. Taros. Yeah.
And if you guys didn't see how the lock-in animation looks like, well, this is how it looks like. And in my opinion, this skin is actually amazing, because when I got told that there's a Brawlhalla...
It's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, he goes on, and then he also, like, shows himself, like, telling you to subscribe, basically. Anyway, it's fantastic. So now we have the starved one. Look at that art. Oh man, especially the tongue especially looks like hair right there. It's so good. Oh, did I strike a nerve? It's been so long. Why don't you introduce yourself to our new little friend here now that you've troubled yourself with quite the greeting? Bravo, by the way. The giant skeleton thing entrance really makes use of the environment. Adds a lot of tension and ambience, such suspense. You do lose points for getting my hat dirty and for taking so long to make your entrance, though. Who are you? What are you? I'm hungry. Its voice is akin to the hissing of steam. Crackly, raspy, and dry, its words grate against my ears. Yet its words all rumbled with a deeper, feral growl, as if the other mouths along its body were all speaking in unison. Gods, you haven't changed at all. Just call him the Beast or the Starved One. Actually, go with the second one. Befitting of his nature, he's starved in more ways than just hunger. The Wanderer raps the side of his head, snickering. The creature ignores him, though some of its mouths continue to gnash their teeth and hiss. What do you want? I can't imagine that you've come here just for a chat. I am Wu Shang from the Western Safelands. I was told that you possess a fragment of the crest, a legendary artifact that was once foretold to bring about a miracle to the world. Do you have it? Yes, I have it. Why? The Starved One carries itself with a distinctly carefree manner. Its beady eyes are trained on me, but not with malice. Instead, its eyes are focused with the fixation and curiosity of a wild animal observing a sudden disturbance. Though it initially appeared grotesque with its hunched posture and gaping maws, it seemed oddly nonchalant. Its muscles had relaxed after it heard my voice. The various mouths scattered along its body had stopped gnashing and hissing. The tongue lolling from its head drools. It is quite the frightening beast, but oddly enough, I feel no intent of ill will. I plan to unite the crest into one once more. I have negotiated with the Emperor from the Southern Safelands already. If I can procure your crest fragment as well as the one from the Savior, then he will give me his own fragment. I am hoping we can settle this amicably.
Oh, really? That's amusing. What's driving you to do this? Why do you want to reunite with the pieces?
Yes, I initially set out to find the truth of the apocalypse's origins. I now know that the crest was no myth at all, so my mission has changed. When I found out the Emperor had a fragment of the crest, I knew that I had to be the one to fulfill the duty that had been shirked. I want to be the one to end the apocalypse. I want to stop the rains. I want to stop the fires. I want the children and the people to live and be in a living world, not a dying one.
So, you've held it, right? Since you've gotten that warmonger's blessing to come here.
The Emperor?
Yeah, that guy. I don't call him that, though. That would make my eyes want to roll out the back of my head. Go on.
Right. He told me that it would reduce the common man to ashes, as he placed it on my head. I guess the dustpan and broom in the throne kind of foreshadowed it a bit.
Glad to hear that time hasn't changed him. All right. I believe you. You seem genuine. You've just happened to meet the bad actors first before coming here. That must not have been rough to deal with you. They're always trying to demand and respect when they don't deserve any.
I love how Reno's like staring there.
Look, I can give you my piece, I think you got guts. I think single-minded focus is very good for getting things done. And because I like you, I have some advice. Be careful. If you focus too hard on one thing, you may fail to see the bigger picture. Like the unreliable company close to you, who invites nothing but trouble.
Do you speak of the Wanderer?
Oh, ignore this brute. One last thing. Have you got anything to eat? I've been living off the spoils of that warmonger's previous campaign for a while now. I'm sure you've noticed, but the whole place has gotten pretty clean. A little too clean. It's lost that appetizing smell, you know. So, have you got a bite to eat? Anything will do. I'll trade you my crest.
Would these travel rations do?
My man. Deal.
It reaches into the jaws of its torso mouth. With a slight heave, the mouth coughs up a dull yet otherwise unmarred quartz chunk with a ruby inset, an eye. Though it was covered in saliva, the moisture seems to give it the appearance of welling tears. Dirty as it was, the iris of the gem glints a beautiful regal red in the fading sunlight. I whisk out a small handkerchief from my pouch and hold it out. The starved one flicks it into my outstretched hand as it grabs the biscuits from my other hand. Without a word, it flicks one biscuit into its torso mouth before taking a bite of another biscuit with the mouth on the top of its head. The starved one points a taloned thumb at the wanderer as it chews.
When are you going to get his fragment of the crest?
What?
What? He probably has it on him right now.
Now, dear bestie, I have no idea what you're talking about. It would be no good if he lies to our little hero. Don't get his hopes up. We haven't got the slightest clue where the fourth fragment is. Are you trying to sow doubt and discord among friends? Dear me, this villainous beast is trying to drive us apart.
Shut up, you pest! You can wax on and on all you like, but it won't hide the truth. You cannot hide it from me. I know what you are. You know what I am. Did you bother telling him anything at all? Or are you just here to entertaining yourself with the sound of your own voice? Wu Shang, this is pest. Is just here to mess with you. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
I don't understand. What you are? What? No, more importantly, Wanderer, do you really have the fourth fragment on you right now? All this time?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Why would I ever hide something like that from you? I'd never do such a thing. That's truly quite crass. I don't appreciate the accusations either. Quite offensive. I guess you didn't learn any manners after all.
You always keep one hand on your chest. I know you have a secret pocket in there. You fiddle with it when you are not getting your way. You're doing it right now. The Wanderer, you go by that now. You know what he is Wu Shang. Trouble. Always has been, always will be.
Stop! Ugh! Can't you see what I'm trying to do here? Do you just have to up and ruin everything important to me? Why can't you leave me alone or play along? You're no fun at all. This isn't supposed to go like this at all. I hate you.
Gods, you're still annoying. I'm sorry to see that time hasn't changed in you. You still act like a petulant child. Grow up.
Wanderer, we have a lot to talk about. I suppose I should thank you, Starved One, for your fragment of the crest and for being forthcoming with me.
I don't want to be involved more than I have to. I'm just hungry. You gave me something to eat. Calling it how it is the least I can do.
I liked it better when you pretended I wasn't here.
Ooh, boy. Wow. Okay. So, Baraza, the Starved One, is excellent as a character. I probably overdid it a bit with that voice. That's not a very sustainable voice. But I just, trying to get the whole idea of like multiple mouths, like, talking and things like that. if I practice a bit more, I could probably get a bit more consistent with the dry, raspy, scratchy voice and still having a little bit of that like sort of voice echo kind of thing. I'm proud of my sort of like echo effect, like hi, my name is Baron. What's your name? I was trying to do a little bit of that ventriloquist kind of thing going on. But anyway, time for some theorizing. Everyone's least favorite or most favorite, I don't know, part of the video. So the biggest revelations, apart from just learning more about we learned more about the Blighted Lands, more world building. Always gotta love that. Still very curious about this serpentine creature or whatever. But now we know that Baraza is kind of the one who's been basically picking this place clean, and is always just hungry, trying to feed all these multiple mouths and everything. But yeah, I will say that I definitely did call the fact that Reno is kind of knows a lot more than he lets on, which I suppose wasn't that crazy of a prediction, honestly. Like, that was probably obvious from the get-go, right? And also, considering the premise of this whole battle pass for Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and the fact that Reno fits Pestilence, that kind of already made him a major player anyway. But yeah, I will say I was only half surprised when it was revealed that Reno has the crest on him, essentially. I mean, obviously, we only have Baraza's word for it, but I feel like we can trust Baraza a lot more than we can trust Reno at this point, right? It's not like everything Reno has said has been false. He has said, you need to talk to the Emperor. This is how you deal with the Emperor. He was truthful about that. He was truthful about the fact that the crests are real and everything. But yeah, every single one of Reno's sprites, one of his 4 arms is always close to his chest. And now we know that he has like some sort of secret pocket somewhere in like that, somewhere in that area. So that's some really good forethought there with the sprite design. So fantastic, I love it. So that begs the question: what is Reno's plan then? Reno is clearly trying to do something, and it seems obvious to me anyway that what he's trying to do is he's trying to gather the crest together for some reason. Because he knows that the Emperor has a crest, and so he told Wushang the best way to. Whenever he's truthful with Wushang, it's for the purpose. It has anything he says to Wushang that we know is true has to do with getting the pieces of the crests. All right. Anything he said about the Blighted Lands, about the Emperor and the fact that crests are exist. All those things have been true because I think he's trying to gather them all together. Why? That a lot of that depends on like the I guess the relationship Reno has with the other like warriors as well as with the betrayer, I suppose. And yeah, is Reno trying to like take over? Is Reno trying to supplant the betrayer? Is Reno trying to save the world as well? Is Reno the bad guy all along or something? Maybe the crest gives some kind of power and like Reno wants to extend his influence throughout the world or something. So I don't know. Like right now, his goals and Wushang's goals align because they both want to get the crests. And Reno is happy to basically sit back and let Wushang do all the dirty work. But once all the crests are there, then what? What's Reno going to try to do? That's the question. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if he he doesn't seem the kind of character who wants to like replace the Emperor necessarily, but then again, he could just be putting up his current personality could very much be a front for something else. At least the personality he's presenting could be a front for something much deeper. Who knows? Yeah, in the next chapter, in Valediction, and possibly the Hallowed War, but definitely in the next chapter in Valediction, that's the next thing that needs to be dealt with in the story. Wushang and Reno are going to be traveling for a while to the south, to the Obsidian Spires, and as Wushang said, they're going to have a lot to talk about. I love the different these different personalities are they bounce off each other so very well. Because we have Wuxiong with the kind of this everyman kind of character who's trying to seek after truth, the typical protagonist. We have the rather, like, some people have said zesty Reno. We have the pompous, proud Sir Roland, Emperor Roland, and we have the very like starved and rather brutally honest Barraza. They all just play off each other so very well. I love it. Fantastic character writing and world building. Oh man, it's so good. But yeah, do I have a prediction for who the savior is? So obviously the only thing that's left is death, right? Reno is pestilence, Roland is war, Barraza is famine. So who would be death? I think I said in previous videos that I think the savior is going to be either Zariel or Magyar, because while Barraza was referred to as a beast, and like I think it was referred to as a beast, or like this man-eating beast or whatever. Emperor Roland specifically referred to the savior as they. And again, the only Brawlhalla characters who, at least personally, that I use the they them pronouns for is Zariel, because Zariel is non-binary, neither male or female, and Magyar because Magyar is literally a plural entity with 100 souls in the armor. That's why I think it's those two. Otherwise, if it's not those two, then there's probably something about this savior character that is like multifaceted or beyond, or like non-binary or something. I'm not entirely sure. But also the fact that everything surrounding the Wings of Mercy, like groups and the Obsidian Spires and everything, like there's very much there's a gothic feel to it. There's this sort of like skeletal winged nun priestess kind of look to it, right? So, yeah. And also I'm very interested in learning more about like these Wings of Mercy like people, because we have this group, this sect right here, but it sounds like they're probably different from these people up here, right? These are so, with a lot of different religions, there are different sects and break-off groups that because they have a difference in doctrine or beliefs and everything like that. It does also look like we're going to be going through basically a war field, essentially. In the background of the map for this battle pass has that giant skeleton with like a big sword. I'm guessing it's probably going to be something like this or whatever. Anyway, such are my thoughts for now. But of course, as always, I am incredibly excited about what's to come, because yeah, I've been enjoying every single step of this, and we still have 6 chapters to go. So we have crossed the halfway point now, and things are starting to come to a head a bit more. And I think especially after we meet the savior, and especially it says death to the savior, so maybe the savior isn't around anymore. That could be another, hold on. Maybe the savior is gone entirely, or maybe the savior is so hated that people are like, death to the, death to them, or off with their head or something, like, I don't know. There's something about death that's what we're going with here. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I'm very excited. So hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're continuing to enjoy this journey along with me. Goodness knows this is the best Battle Pass journey I've ever been on, even though I'm not revealing anything. I couldn't be happier with everything that's going on. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, all the best.